Hello and welcome. You're tuned into CNBC TV 18 Prime. Let's get cracking on a brand new edition of The Big C. I'm Manisha Gupta, back with your daily dose of commodities, cryptos and currencies. A quick read-through of the global markets first, and the Dow Jones Industrial rose on Friday as tensions softened between the US and China on trade front. Other than that, the street also moved to look past credit concerns in the big banks of the United States. Stocks that went through a rout on Thursday rebounded on Friday. And despite all the volatilities, all three indices closed the week higher. Stocks in Asia Pacific, in the meantime, are trading in positive territory. The street clearly brushing off the macro worries following that weak GDP print from China, which came in at 4.8% for the month of July to September, versus the same period in the last year, but in line with the analyst expectations. Shifting focus then to the crude oil prices, and they have posted a weekly loss of 2% after that IEA report that forecasted a growing glut. Last week's decline was also partly due to rising trade tensions between US and China, which added to concern about an economic slowdown and lower energy demand from the biggest consumers. What's also capping gains is the rise in inventory figures. Last week, stockpiles were up by nearly 3.5 million barrels to 423.8 million barrels in US. The bigger than expected build in crude inventories was largely due to lower refining utilizations as refineries go into autumn turnaround. Let's get in our first guest of the show, and Nishchay AG is co-founder and CEO at JAR, joins us on the show now. Nishchay, hi, thank you so much for joining in. First of all, what is your sense on the way the gold prices seem to be moving and how India is looking at it like an important asset class now?
Hey, thanks, Manisha, for having me. We are excited about the current business trends. In India, gold is not seen through the lens of price. It's an emotion. People don't, majority of the Indians who are currently our users, they don't look at a gold as a place where they get in to make quick buck. It's not like they're getting in at 40 and getting out at 60. This is something that they want to accumulate as much as possible and pass on as a legacy from generation to generation. That's the kind of users that we cater to.
You do a lot of digital gold, and that really is something that the markets are looking at, because tokenized version perhaps will work faster and better now with the way the gold prices have been moving. How have you seen the adoption penetration on the same?
Yes, what we have broken is, see, gold has always been a pretentious purchase. It takes a lot of effort from a common man to accumulate enough money to walk into a showroom, walk into a store and purchase physically. He has to put up a lot of capital to start with. But what we have enabled is fractionalized purchase of gold on a daily basis. We enable people to start their gold journey with as low as 10 rupees. Our average user saves, invest 70 rupees every day in gold. He is buying 70 rupees worth of gold every day on our platform. And we cater to millions of users every day. And this is something that is non-pretentious, easy to access at the comfort of their couch, and not being judged based on their ticket size.
Nishchay, how would you look at the changing pattern that India is buying? I mean, I understand that 95% perhaps is still physical gold, but that small percentage with a lower base perhaps seems to be exploding quite a bit, would you say?
See, gold is a signal of arrival. If you are doing better in life, you start sporting a small gold chain, a bracelet, or a ring, or something like that. And given the kind of economic movement that's happening, the number of people being pulled out of poverty over the last 15, 20 years, and thanks to a lot of efforts and initiatives by the government, a lot of people are upgrading themselves in their lives. And they want to show, they want to advertise their position that life is going good. So they will continue to buy physical gold as long as possible. And especially the category of consumers that we are catering to, which is predominantly beyond the 1% population, which is largely left unserved by typical financial services, because you need a little bit of financial literacy. Everything is in English. Plus, money is a taboo subject. No one teaches you how to manage money. And that's why people end up accumulating gold, which is easy to understand. It's the best hedge against the market, against the inflation, against everything. And it's so easy to liquidate. And that is something that can support and advertise that their life is going good. And that's why my consumers are bullish about gold, and they will continue to buy gold as much as possible.
Oh, well, absolutely. Going ahead from here, going forward from here, and while, of course, physical gold will continue to reign in, But would you say the younger generation, the millennials perhaps, is the target audience right now? They need to be taught to buy gold as well, and they want to look at perhaps various ways of doing that and more as a financial instrument rather than in a physical form.
See, gold is a special asset class which no one can escape from in India. It doesn't matter what caste, creed, region, religion you belong. You need to buy gold for own personal consumption, like wedding. See, every important occasion in the life in India is edged with gold. Be it birthdays, anniversaries, festivals, auspicious occasions, everything is marked with gold. So it doesn't matter which generation you come from, you will finally fall into it and you will end up buying gold.
Nisha, when
Yes.
it comes to, yeah.
Yes, there are some portion of young consumers who love to accumulate gold in other formats like be it SGBs or ETFs, but the ultimate satisfaction when you hold it in hand.
I agree. Nishi, when it comes to Dhanteras, Diwali, I mean, this is, as you said, whether it's about birthdays or marking those very important anniversaries and dates to weddings. But Dhanteras, Diwali also mark a time when you buy, when you see tons of gold being bought into within that very, very short period. Would you
Yes.
say gold in various forms is now doing well? I mean, whichever bracket that you look at.
Yes, there is one thing about India that is when gold prices are going down, people buy happily, and when gold prices are going up, they will buy grudgingly. But the fact remains that they will keep buying gold. During Dhanteras, of course, we see a great adoption by consumers. There's a lot of enthusiasm to actually walk into store, buy physically, flaunt it on social media, and all of those things. I think that trend will only continue to grow till at least for some more time in the near future.
And how would you put gold in various brackets? I mean, when one, of course, is, as you said, show of wealth. The other is savings. Do you see both of them work together?
Yes, absolutely. See, in all historical civilizations, whatever is good for you or whatever is safe for you is converted into culture and added to you. Most of my consumers, when they are buying gold, they are not thinking about the market forces. Like this is the best bet against inflation. This is the best bet against market. If markets are going down, this will save me. They're not thinking any of it, but still, gold is serving all those purposes. As I always feel, it's a packet of knowledge passed on from generation to generation.
Nisha, would you say that the gold prices have run up quite a bit, which they have, by the way, up by nearly 60%, even with that bit of a correction that we've seen in the last few sessions there. How are you looking at the gold price move? And from here on, what is your sense on where are we headed?
Uh, to be very honest, we are very good in understanding consumer needs and catering to them. I personally am a very bad prediction when it comes to gold prices. I hope it serves the purpose where my consumers are putting in their hard-earned money to accumulate a asset which they really love.
All right, Nisha, we'll let go of you with that. How are you looking at, the fintech part of gold? Would you say more and more people are now entering in? Do you see competition? Do you see, or do you think it as a mark of market opening up in more ways?
We are certainly the market leaders in this category, but at the same time, more predominant players entering is kind of making it mainstream, making it acceptable. At the same time, overall market awareness is increasing. The thing is, we are putting people into a good habit of saving. It's in a form of gold. That's the best because it's kind of a hedge against the market, inflation, and all of those things. This will ensure that they don't fall into debt trap. It comes to their rescue when they are in need, and at the same time it gives them a power to pledge and get loan against jewelry whenever they are in need. By doing so, you are bringing them into the financial inclusion beyond banking and payments. It is enabling them to accumulate some assets. It is enabling them to build a trail through which they can enable some sort of other financial services, be it credit or insurance in the long run. We are here to serve the remaining 99%, which is still they're still yearning to be served at a larger scale. We offer the platform in 10 plus languages so that anyone and everyone should be able to access and build their own portfolio of gold as much as possible.
Nisha, I have one final question, and this is that for last many years, we've seen gold imports into India anywhere between 500 to 700 tons. But even with that, we see physical demand continue to go up. ETFs are doing well. Tokenized or digital form of gold is doing well as well. How are you looking at imports remaining the same, but buyers in some sense or investors in that sense continue to grow or add up?
So, as I was telling, given the rate at which the economy is growing, given the rate at which the per capita GDP is growing, lot of people are having some additional cash that they can park aside, and platforms like JAR is enabling them to build that habit, build that muscle to keep aside something. At the same time, I think a lot of initiatives have been taken to unlock gold, which is locked at homes in form of old jewelry and all of those things. If we can figure out how to bring it back to circulation in some form or the other, it will be a big boost to the economy, and also it's a good infusion into the market.
Point taken, Nishchay. Thank you so much for joining in, making sense of what really India is doing and how newer initiatives really seem to be helping people decide on how can they buy. Well, with that, we'll slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, we will be joined by Chirag Thakkar, director at Amrapali Group. Stay tuned for that conversation. Welcome back. You're tuned into The Big C on CNBC TV 18 Prime. Joining us now is Chirag Thakkar. He's director at Amrapali Group. Chirag, hi. Very happy festivities to you. And silver is what I would want to start with you first. We've seen more headlines come in from silver than gold in the last 3 months at least, where silver has outperformed gold and has seen a short squeeze globally. Do you see matters settle down a bit as we speak?
Thank you so much, Manisha, for having me. Very festive season. Greetings to all of you. So yes, we have seen premiums coming down a little bit, and thanks to the Diwali season. So now more of the people are on holiday. So there is a less of panic in the market, which we saw in last couple of weeks. But yes, certainly things have come down a little bit. But at the same time, I'm sure silver is going to be outperforming gold down the line, coming couple of quarters, because the bull run just has started, and we could see silver in the headlines.
All right. Chirag, what are the kind of levels that you're looking at then? Because we've seen a lakh 60 and a lakh 70 in the spot markets. It was quoted as high as 2 lakhs as well. That premium thankfully has gone away. But what kind of higher prices are we envisaging, let's say, for the next 6 or 12 months?
So let's say for the dollar terms, we could see metal touching $55, and if not, we can also see $60. So down the line, 6 months to 12 months, the kind of a premium what India has paid for the physical metal, we could see the same levels, sustaining those levels around 175,000, 195,000. We could see those levels consolidating at those areas, and we could maintain those levels for a more period, next to 6 months to 12 months.
Chirag, a lot of people tell me that, jewelry volumes may have seen a decline, but when it comes to bullion, that is a demand that is much higher than what we saw in the last year as well. I mean, there have been pictures that have been coming across from various parts of the country showing on how people are lining up to buy their silver coins. What is your sense on the kind of sales that we've seen around this Dhanteras in India?
So if you look at the jewelry sales, it has gone down, but at the same time, the coin sales have increased. Our platforms has been propped up for digital silver, and almost 92% of people who have invested have booked for the physical delivery of silver coins and small bars. I was also speaking to certain people who are doing artifacts. So the feedback we are getting from there also, it is very positive, wherein the artifact sales and the gifting sales have increased, and the delivery dates are beyond the Diwali dates. So it shows a very clear message that come what may, whatever the rate is, but everyone needs to have the silver into their portfolio, whether it be physical, whether it be digital, or whether it be any kind of an investment, but they need not to miss the next bull run which has started in silver.
And Chirag, there have been those reports on how India also seems to be facing shortages, delayed imports, delayed inventories, price fixing being a concern as well. How are the markets currently?
So currently, thanks to the Diwali season, that we have a break. Otherwise, we would have again not seen premiums coming down. But yes, the supply crunch is there, and we could see this supply crunch getting normal in next maybe 2 more weeks or maybe 3 more weeks. But there are certain international factors to it for this short squeeze or a supply crunch, which is globally there. So we could see any decision coming out of the critical minerals in the US market, which we could see in next couple of weeks. If silver is included in the critical minerals list, we could see that short squeeze going more deep down, and we could see higher premiums again for the physical silver. And it would be again very tough to have a hands on a physical silver.
What is your sense, Chirag, on the kind of imports that we could be looking at for silver this year?
We could be seeing the same numbers, rather the prices have gone almost more than double, but we could see 5,500, 6,000 tons of silver still being a net importers as India as an importer, yeah.
Chirag, is there a lot of recycled silver coming into the markets as well? Are people bringing their old silver to market, or is it only new, fresh buying that we witnessed?
So it's all fresh new buying. I think whatever scrap was supposed to come into the market has already come. It is already discounted in the market. When the prices hit 100,000, at that time, lots of scrap came in. There were lots of discounts in the market. And I believe now there is no scrap coming in the market. There is no over and above ground of silver, which is there in the market, which can suffix the physical silver demand.
Chirag, talk to us about this digital silver as well. I mean, I was talking about digital gold some time back. When it comes to digital silver, how has that market been? Because with all these silver prices running up, that premium building up into the physical market, we saw silver ETFs taking a hit. How would silver digital as a platform behave during this time?
So we saw phenomenal growth of more than 450% in last 1 month, which is very crazy. And actually, as a platform, as a digital silver platform, we were unable to fulfill the physical coins demand, and we couldn't deliver completely whole metal which was booked with us. And due to the rush of Diwali, the kind of a premiums people are investors are ready to pay for a silver coin for gifting purpose has been very promising from the market. And if I compare digital gold and digital silver as a platform, we have seen immense growth, immense growth.
And Chirag, would you say that this immense growth that you talk about is sustainable, or at some point in time people will see through the kind of high premiums that they have been paying, because it would take them longer time to get those kind of profits being materialized?
So I would rather say we won't see any substantial degrowth in the data silver market. The only reason is that the kind of a FOMO what silver has, and if you look at the history, in 2011 there was this FOMO that we could see silver touching 100,000. From 72,000, it came back to 30, 40,000. But right now the factors are different. At that time, it wasn't a commodity. It wasn't such a raw material which was used as a industrial product. Now it is majorly used as an industrial product. So now I don't think the kind of a phenomena which has as a silver investment will go away, will shed away. Even if the premiums are coming down, even the prices are coming down, there'll be a big buying happening down those levels.
I get your point, Chirag, because earlier when we did see those higher prices, of course, because of Hunt Brothers, there was a handful of people managing silver. Right now, almost everybody across the world wants to buy silver. In the Indian markets as well, we have retail, institution houses, family houses, all wanting to lay their hands on silver as much as they can. So, well, yes, it's a more widespread buying that we've seen in silver this time around. You've talked about $55 an ounce of a price level going forward. There are various banks and brokerages talking about 65 and 75, and I would stop there because there are levels much higher than that as well. Do you see that kind of a bullishness continuing? How are you looking at investment and jewelry demand and then the industrial demand play out in the years to come?
So if we talk about let's break it down. So let's say if we talk about the jewelry demand, obviously jewelry demand will go up. The kind of a price we have for the gold jewelry is way higher than what we anticipated at the current levels, right? So we would keep growing on a silver jewelry demand. The second part is coming down to the investment part. Obviously, the investment part is going to be very price sensitive. But whenever we see correction prices or deep in the market, the prices will come, the demand will come, and at the same time, there will also be a profit taking on the investment side. Whenever the prices go around $55, $60, we will see a consolidation mode coming there. We'll see some profit taking there. But at the same time, if you look at the higher horizon down the line, 2 years, 3 years, I'll not be surprised if we see silver prices going 3 digits because the bull run has just started. We are above for $50, which is very historic, and we don't see prices going below that very soon.
All right. Very, very bullish views coming in, Chirag. How are you also looking at the B2B and the B2C market? I understand the consumers want it, but a lot of premium and a lot of pull and push really came into the B2B market for silver in the recent few days, would you say?
So if you look at that sector, B2B sector, so that usually it's always compared with gold because we have a small part of making charge on the gold side. But when you look at the silver, the making charges, the logistic part, there are so many value chain factors part which makes it more expensive. So let's say if I compare, there'll be less of a jewelry which will come as a scrap into the market, but there'll be a lot of bullion or those kind of a material which would have a less making charge would come as a scrap into the market once the prices go up. So a B2B market will be throbbing again because again there'll be a comparison between a jewelry, whether one is having a gold jewelry and a silver jewelry. But right now the silver jewelry, which has a very micro coatings as a gold jewelry, is also very fancy and which is very demanding into the millennials market, the next gen market. So I believe that has a market which is now growing, has a very nice base of platform after the prices have gone up. So I think it will have a growth as well.
Point taken, Chirag. So a very, very bullish cue coming in. And as you've said, silver has outperformed gold and perhaps could continue doing that in quarters to come as well. Chirag Thakkar, as always, thank you so much for joining in and making sense of what really seems to be happening in case of silver and sharing those numbers on what the Dhanteras Diwali week looks like in the Indian space there. With that, that's all the time on this edition of Big C. Thank you for watching.